Josh Papali'i says the Raiders have addressed their failure to ice games as they prepare for their do-or-die final against the Sharks.
Obviously, there was a few things we had to address as a team. We did lose that game, but we had so many opportunities to win it, and we're being over those situations. Yeah, it's just one of those things in the heat of the moment. We just didn't execute. Yeah, hopefully we're not in that situation on Saturday.
Yeah, that one hurt. And the big question is, how does Ricky get these young Raiders up physically and emotionally for this do-or-die game against the Sharks?
Well, it's come back to bite them, hasn't it? That they asked for the Sunday game, and I think as number one seed, they should be at least listened to, and they were, but now it means they've got a 6-day prep. At least they're at home. I'll ask you two, what will be harder for Canberra? Getting up for this game against a Cronulla side that are playing well, but then after that it's Melbourne in Melbourne. I suspect this game here, getting up for this, might be tougher for them than going down to Melbourne in Melbourne, as crazy as that seems.
Well, Melbourne's the bigger challenge, but you've got to play who's ever in front of you. So that's a challenge for Ricky. So I think all their focus this week would be on that. They will be ready. I think with the sports science, that's one thing. I always give it to the sports scientists in our game, but the recovery, the way they can back up, you think they'd get massage, swim, hot and cold, and just walk through. Even if they walk through their moves through the week, but it's mentally where they got to be right. And I would be showing them everything that they've done well. I would have clipped up 15 minutes of everything they've done well this year. And do you want to throw that out? Because if you do, well, let's not go and play well.
The advantage they got is they're fit and they're fast.
They're fit.
And they're young. And if they're young, they've got short memories. They don't hold too much scarring, which is a big thing. Is the older you get, the more scars you carry because you've been through so many good and bad moments. They just move on.
But they won that game 3 times.
It's unheard of.
It's unprecedented, exactly.
Yeah. What about, we talk about big moments and Papali'i and making sure they're prepared for this week. And one player who has come under the microscope, and we've spoken about it on here, is Jamal Fogarty. He's missed a couple of opportunities of late when he's needed to ice them. What do we think of this? And would Ricky be a little bit nervous this week about his halfback?
Yeah, well, there was a couple of big moments on the weekend. That conversion attempt that we didn't think would probably have a bearing on the game that he missed, and then not getting himself into field goal territory at the end there where they went the wrong way. So I don't think he'd be nervous about it, probably a little bit. You think he's got an issue with it?
Petrified,
of him not kicking them to victory?
Because
I know what Ricky's like too. As a halfback, he knows what his halfbacks need to do, and he'd be up his what about it.
You can't miss this.
Of course,
and there would be an element of doubt after the last few weeks.
He got fortunate. Mudgee, he had a couple of moments like this, missed an easy kick, mucked up a field goal he should have kicked in, but they got away with it in Mudgee. They didn't get away with it here, and. Brave, the half player. Oh, so do I. Because you don't want to bag the bloke because he's easy to like. But they are paid to win to put these games.
Well, the difference between the great ones, they don't carry the scars. They have short memories. It's like golfers. Like you look at Tiger Woods, all those golfers, they forget their last shot. And they're the greats. They're the greats of our game and sport in general. But I know from personal experience, when you are scarred by big moments, you can carry them. And you try and get them out of your mind, but at the end of the day, there's an element of doubt until you nail it and you ice it and you hit the mark. And it exists.
Is it like poker where you lose a big hand, you're on tilt, but then as soon as you win the next one, you're okay? Yeah. You just got to do it once.
That's it.
You just got to do it once.
Just once.
Well, I think the setup, I'm not a field goal expert, but there was no setup.
It was wrong.
I reckon it was his last thought. He goes, I'm here, let's do it. And there was no backup, like he's 5'8" or he's fullback. Right, so
here, Gordy, just quickly, you're supposed to, as a right foot kicker, you're supposed to get to the left post, right? Then you've got the markers chasing from the inside, you're a right foot kicker, it opens it up. They've actually gone to the right, they've gone too far. See here, this is when he should have been taking the shot, but then the offload kills him. And then they get to the side, like that right there, they were setting up for it, but someone just got a bit antsy, and this was the other one. But, I'm sure Ricky he'd be drilling them about it.
And you don't want to take that out of Hudson's game, beating people, but he needed to take that tackle.
Look at the spine that's on there at the moment. What combined games would there be? Weeks, Strange and Owen Paddy.
Yeah.
It's
a young spine.
well, they wouldn't have 50 games combined.
All those moments.
But you know what? You
50 games
do
combined
do
between
it in every grade. These guys. I mean, Strange was man of the match under 19s New South Wales, scored 4 tries, I think. So it doesn't matter what grade you're in. You practice the field goal. But it's not just them. The Broncos didn't set up for one either. It happens all the time these days. I see it more now than ever.
Do they must train.
Yeah,
Right. And I'm not saying just this. I'm not saying train for that one play. They would train for entire sets, wouldn't they?
Sequence scenarios.
Where do we get to, and I think the kickers would come up with it, where do we get to if we need a field goal? And then Lockie left footer, they will pick their spot and you get to it.
All right, let's